You kind of like another South African team. What does they show you that you have to do against these sides? They obviously had a very good win today on the road.
Like obviously Lions were the South African the Shield winners, weren't they? So obviously we played in the quarters, but they have a lot less Springbok international experience in their team. So obviously this was a playoff game, big game for them. I thought our lads were really clinical in that game. Stormers obviously putting a lot more physical pressure on us. They have a defensive system pretty much identical to ours, and it puts pressure on the opposition. So it does. And hence, as in why personally, I was drawn to that system in the first place, and obviously with Jack there. So the Bulls, listen, they're different the way they defend, but they're a team with a ton of Springbok experience, World Cup winners, literally littered throughout their group. So they would have learned a lot, I'm sure, from the experience of being in the final last year. It was different if you think the run-in, obviously because it was semi-final into a final. I'm sure they will have learned. They've had a change of coaches since last year. So they will have learned from it, the experience. But if you think some of the players that they've added then as well, likes of what Pollard in particular, like he's in World Cup winner and what he brings to a team. So, but some others on top of that as well. So they're a serious outfit, we'll need to be at our best. If we want to have a chance to win the game. That's the important bit to know, because they've gone to Scotland, as you saw today, and as now you saw snippets of that game before we left UCD to come down the bus, so I didn't really see a huge amount of it. They're a hugely physical team, and we need to make sure we're ready for that challenge.
Just on yourselves, as I say, you had to move on quickly from the Champions League final, but you have played in the final very recently. Are there short-term things you learned from that final not going your way that you now want to implement in these 2 weeks?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure it will be 30 odd degrees in Croke Park, never know. But there's lots of things from that game that we can have a deeper look at next week, definitely, as a group, because it's important that we understand in terms of there's game plan, all getting ready for the battle, all the rest. There's so many different things that we can go back to. So this is a good opportunity for us, making sure we don't waste the opportunity and we're well prepared going into the game. So, but that's about the group. I think there's the whole collective, how we go about that preparation cycle, and this is a slightly different preparation cycle because we have that extra bit of time to work with. So, listen, enjoy the time, and it's great, isn't it? It's a great thing to have to look forward to. As I said, there's lots of things flash through my mind, but the last time we were in Croke Park was one of them where we probably didn't do ourselves full justice, really, where Munster were pretty dominant against us. So, and again, even something like that we need to learn from. So, but Bulls, they're a quality team, steeped in traditions, and they will be very ambitious to win a final, because obviously they've come up short in a few finals as well.
There was a chat at half-time about being a little less narrow when you got into there 22 close to the line. You were frustrated a few times in the first half where there seemed to be a little bit of space further out. It's like deciding when to pull the trigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a fine line, because listen, obviously they're very aggressive in terms of how to get off the line. So, but that's listen. Obviously, we don't just play the space and score as easily as possible. But sometimes you gotta, when you're close to the try line, you know what it's like. It's trench warfare, and you need to get dirty, basically, get down and dirty, and forwards need to get to work. So there's always a balance then, and then pulling the trigger at the right time, and that's all part of decision making and execution. Yeah.
Does the fast start? There was a fast start. You get 10 points up. They were to touch the ball for 20 minutes. Is that a sign that you felt that the team prepared well, that was a good attitude going out there, or there weren't that many Stormers' mistakes in that first 20 minutes? It was your pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, they didn't try to play a huge amount of multi-phase or anything, did they? They're pretty direct and went to the air a lot. Which is their game, which is a game. So, Bulls, listen, I'll have to have a proper look at them in comparison what that's going to look like. But certainly Stormers, they don't give you much, because they want to turn you. They want to be aggressive in the air. and you can see it in the way they play. Listen, they've a AFL coach, like they've let the balls. I've watched the warm up and a few things that they do. So they obviously spend a huge amount of time in that aspect of the game. So, but I thought our guys were really good in terms of how we dealt with some of those aerial threats that Stormers posed.
And I'll just ask you about the execution of the first try. The second try was pretty crappy, but the first try was Ricky Ryan. That was the player that you went after, that you looked for his seeing the guy. I mean, you're presumably seeing it back on replay. Is that a satisfying try? That's a good try you've scored all year, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like he's a big game player, Rico, and great to see him there. Like in terms of like when he had James outside him, but like my first instance, I shouted to the box, I was there, back yourself. Because listen, it probably would have been easier to throw past to James, but listen, he backed himself, which is what you want to see. And listen, that's what you want from big game players, And Jamison here beside me as well, so backs himself, and they're two great tries.
Yeah, he gets over on touch, Jamison. That was maybe a sign of sometimes All Blacks have a little bit extra speed and a little bit extra vision. But is that fair? I don't know if you saw the try back because you're playing.
No, I was out there, I saw it.
That's okay.
No, it was a pretty good finish, and like I said, I think it was a pretty nice try, pretty nice lead up to it. So, yeah, but I suppose in the same breath we left a few of those out there as well, I felt. So, certainly some learnings for Friday week.
And did you have your heart in your mouth? Did you know that Holly was coming back for foul play, not for something you'd done in your try? Was there worry? Had you got the worry beads out for a minute there?
No, I knew it had gone backwards, so.
So she was looking at something else.
Yeah.
James, what do you think the last 13 minutes says about the team? Because when that 50-22 goes in, and they have their guard there down their up, and there've been a couple of mistakes back to back, and I think you guys won nearly every moment from there on in. So what do you think that last 13 minutes says about the team?
Yeah, a huge amount, I suppose. There's some pretty good chat up there at that stage, but also some pretty tired bodies. So, and that's when the real tests are, when you're feeling a bit of fatigue. But the lads stuck in unbelievably well, like we have done a good few times this year, and we're able to get the job done. So, I think this is a huge amount, I suppose, about the character of the team, and hopefully it'll stand to us in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, similar question to you. What was your feeling at that moment? Does it looked like they were kind of going for the jugular, but your guys stood up with Rabble leading the charge?
Yeah, big poach from Rabble, isn't it? Yeah. So, the line out, the air pressure line out was the first piece there. But yeah, you're like here they go, because that's what they want you, isn't it? Like line out in the 22, get you in that sort of stranglehold. So. Yeah, but that's credit to the forwards and Robin in terms of the work that they do there. So, which leads to a scrappy line out in the first place. So, huge amount of work went in during the week, and that's them as a collective. So, that's what you need to do. That's in terms of the prep going into the game, quality coaching. That's so important for us. Yeah, but that's, I think, yeah. So, how did Rabbi get the poach? It's a knock-on effect of that, rather than okay, we're here in our 22 now, and you let Stormers just get on top of you. So no, it was good, really positive piece of play there.
Do you give lads any time off between this week, or do you have to? Will be a lot of time on the training pitch, or do you have to wait very lightly this time of year?
Yeah, a bit of a balance there. Yeah. Important we get some recovery and downtime, and and then turn the page later towards the tail end next week.
You don't want to be on a downer after a big win, but can we just ask what your take is on the attendances the last week? Last couple of weeks, is it understandable? Is it disappointing?
I think they seem to be on track though with previous years. And it was one of the big challenges. Listen, when rugby moves into June, because it's a bit unnatural, so to speak. So, but listen, the atmosphere was incredible out there, and that's the big thing for us. So whatever the attendance is, it's wanting fans that are fully invested in the occasion. And listen, I thought they were unbelievable out there today. So I just want us to try and keep positive on it.
There's a massive latent sport in Dublin for the club to come out for big days, and you look at a message for them, kind of come out with backies and go.
And that's the thing, is we want to put on a proper show Friday night, Croke Park. It's amazing, isn't it? For us as a group, a club, to be in this situation. And listen, Bulls are. I talked last year leading into the final about the tradition of the Bulls. isn't how many Bulls fans will travel here. Like that's the thing around numbers. Obviously, away fans play their part, but yeah, listen, hopefully we have a huge crowd there. It was an amazing occasion last year, and hopefully it'll be something similar. But like there was that anticipation. I still remember the anticipation, some of the first contacts in the game, and what that was like. So yeah, listen, hopefully the fans get out in numbers again, because this was an amazing day to be part of, and hopefully Friday week will be something similar.